welcome back to my channel where we're about that Breaking Cycles life. Guys, it's another Thursday and we thank God for carrying us to another Thursday and another Bible study. We are going to move on to chapter 7 of Genesis, and it's entitled in my book, The Great Flood. I hope we learn something today and we just apply it to our lives, because that's basically the aim of the Bible study. It's to not be delving necessarily into history and having arguments and debates, but I want to have this Bible study from the perspective of building our characters. Like, what lessons can we learn so that we can improve our lives? Not just for having notes or having knowledge. Knowledge is good, but what can we apply from the knowledge that we've learned, right? And that's basically the approach I want to take from it. So let's get into it and see what lessons we learned today in chapter 7. Okay? And it says, "Then the Lord said to Noah, 'Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 of each animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made.' And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth." Okay, so from this, it's just basically telling you how the animals went in. And I know many stories have said that, oh, the animals went in 2 by 2. Well, the unclean animals went in 2 by 2. And then the clean animals went by 7s. So that's just one thing we can take from this. And when we can also see that God said that Noah was blameless, right? But let me just show you. Let's just realize here that when you are blameless, God cares also for your family. He cares about everyone. But when you have decided to break that curse, just as Noah did, because Noah was the only person that basically broke the generational cycle of what happened since Adam, right? He broke it, and that's why God found favor. Noah found favor in God's eyes. And when just one person of the family finds favor in God's eyes, then we can see that the entire family has the opportunity to be saved, because there is someone there that God can use to reach the rest of the family, right? And it just goes to show that service and salvation starts from the home. It's very evident right here. It started with Noah, then God took care of his family, and then he was supposed to be preaching 120 years to the rest of the people, to the rest of the world, right? And that's a lesson for us, that we need to make sure that family is our priority. First, our relationship with God, and then our family's relationship with God, because family is very important to me, right? I love my family, love them, gone to bed in the Jamaican vernacular. I love them like cook food, see? And when I tell you that my greatest desire is for my family to be saved, I never stop praying for us to all be there in heaven when Jesus returns. And I'm pretty sure that's what Noah was praying here, and God saw that, and God made the way for his family to enter into the ark. And it was only his family that entered the ark. So that's also a lesson to say, you may be preaching to thousands out there as a preacher, or just as an evangelist, or just someone who shared their faith with God, with others. You can go and spread the gospel to everywhere, but trust me, your priority should be your family. And praying and interceding on their behalf should be your priority. And we should know, and just like that, and so that they can get into the ark, just as how Noah's family got into the ark. And I am so grateful that they listened to Noah, because they even had a choice to not enter the ark. So it could have been, the story could have been, oh, Noah and his wife entered the ark. So don't think just because they're your family, they're going to reach the heaven. That's not how it works, right? It's a choice, and we thank God that they made the choice to follow Noah, right, their father, right? And it goes on to say, so Noah, with his sons, his wives, and his sons' wives, went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. And in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. So those that entered, male and female, of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. And the waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. Wow. Wow. The way God cleansed the earth with water, right? And I'm not sure if you heard a sermon like this, but maybe I'm jumping ahead. But it says that the earth was baptized, or will be baptized twice, or another time, because he was already baptized once, and that was the flood, right? And then, when you get baptized and then you get baptized with the Holy Spirit, then the next time God comes, it will be fire, right? But aside from that, what can we learn from this? Even to the very last minute, you saw God calling people, Noah calling people, right? And you can also look at it like this. Maybe, just maybe, it was when the heavens opened and they really saw the rain that Noah and his family went in, right? Not Noah and his family, like really said, oh, this is really happening, right? And that's something that we should take note of. It doesn't matter how long you're interceding on behalf of your family. Keep doing it, because at one point, even maybe at the last moment, they will give their lives to God. And that is, it doesn't matter if it took 150 years, 120 years, just know that God is going to answer your prayer. And it obviously is their choice if they want to be healed, if they want to be saved, right? And God will do all he can for them to see and make that choice. And just keep interceding, because you never know when, at what point they will definitely turn around. Okay? And unfortunately, as we saw here, um, the wicked, not unfortunate that the wicked were destroyed, but many souls that shouldn't have died because God gave them time. He gave them time. 120 years is a lot of time for you to make a decision in regards to God and in regards to going on the ark. And here we can see that they more than likely thought Noah was crazy, right? Because, like, why are you building an ark and you're saying it's going to flood? No, look, they regretted it. I'm pretty sure they regretted it when when the door of the ark shut. And let us take a lesson in that when we're getting correction and warnings from God and from God through people, let's not be defensive and not want to listen, because God speaks through people. There is a lesson in everything. He doesn't speak through everyone, but if he already spoke to you and then he has to send someone else to speak to you, then you know that he's trying to get your attention, because God is not going to just tell someone something without telling you, right? He has more than likely beckoned you many times in that regard, and you're not listening to his voice. So he sends someone to speak audibly to you, right? And that's why we have the Bible, because at first, here we can see there was no scroll in these days, right? It was just God speaking to Noah, God speaking to Adam, God speaking to Lamech, all these people, right? There was no scroll, there was no Bible, there was no written record, right? It was just the voice of God. And unless we learn to tap into listening to God's voice, then he's going to have to use the second method, which is speaking through people. And that is exactly why we have the testimonies in the Bible. And God used Noah because I'm pretty sure he was trying to speak to each and every person in the antediluvian world, right? But they weren't listening to him. And wickedness just increased. So he sent Noah, someone they could relate to. And they mocked him, right? And it's just, it just goes to show that God really tries with us, right? He speaks to us himself, and then he sends someone to speak to us. And that just goes to show how much love he has for us. And yet, we make the choice to disobey him, to turn away from him. And yes, we have an enemy that's influencing us in this manner, but we also have a God that gave us free will to make a choice in his regard, right? If we do love him, right? So that's really the points I get from this. Yes, the flood happened, unfortunately. It was necessary though, because, another lesson we can take from it is we need to start cleansing the evil things out of our lives. Simple. God revealed to us what is wrong, and he has been speaking to us for many days, and we ought to be like Noah and enter into the safe space of God and remove all of the filthy things that are in our lives, and not do it by ourselves. Let's get that clear. It's giving it to God so that he can remove it for us. He can cleanse us, he can baptize us. Just as how he caused flood to come upon the land, let us pray that he causes flood to come in our lives to remove all the filthiness that is within us, so that we may draw closer to him and be more like him and stay in the ark, so that when he returns, the floods won't overcome us, or in that case, the fire, when he returns. Right? So, yeah, that's our Bible study for this week. Those are the lessons I got from it. What lessons did you get? And comment below, and we'll have a discussion. If I don't answer your message immediately, please understand. Life is hectic. We thank God for his blessings that cause life to be hectic, right? But I will get to it. Mark's one. I will get to it. Um, yeah. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on Sunday. Okay. Bye bye. Have a great day. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new, so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day guys. Bye bye.